Welcome to the Family Office, planning for the people who matter most.
Let's with chaos. Let's with chaotic things going on right now. If befitting here, we'll transition to take us out today and close us out today, because there's a dumpster fire on both sides, and I think it's turning into a hot mess dumpster fire, absolute catastrophic dumpster fire for both the Democrats and the Republicans, the two ruling parties of America. On the Democratic side, they are beholden now and held hostage by the communists, right? So Bernie Sanders, AOC, Mondami, and all the other weird communists that are trying to make communism work for some reason. Because they can afford to try to think it can make it work here because they can afford to do it here. Like if they try to go do whatever they try to do anywhere else, they just can't, right? So the Democratic Party is being hijacked by communists right now, and they're allowing it. They allowed it. They allowed it by all the woke weird shit that they allowed. And everybody's seeing it now. And they have a messaging problem, and they have no leader. They don't. I mean, there's no leader in that party. Newsom's going down in flames. AOC can't even get herself out of a paper bag. Bernie Sanders is 1 foot in the grave. Hakeem Jeffries is confused and lost. I mean, I don't even know who else the names are. And the other side, you have the Republicans, who they keep dying, or they're hidden because they're dying because they're so old. I mean, God bless them. I don't want to joke about anybody passing away. That sucks. But I mean, realistically, Lindsey Graham just passed. They put his sister in there. Has anyone seen, what's his name? McConnell. Has anyone seen him yet? Or is he like with the Crypt Keeper? Right. And the Republicans are also, for whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, they're held hostage by Donald Trump, whether they like it or not, because the Republican Party is now Donald Trump. Regardless of how you want to spin it, people get elected if they're backed by him now. He just won a bunch of other elections. His guys that he backed are soared through it. So, and they have to deal with, a war and everything else that's going on with Iran. So, but they do have leaders. You got Rubio coming up, you have Vance coming up, you have a lot of other people that are coming up in there that make sense, that aren't wackos, and still believe that boys are boys and girls are girls, and threats are threats and threats are not threats. Where are you at with it, Len? Because it's going to be an interesting midterms, because everybody's off plate here. I think it's anybody's game right now. I do think the Republicans have a slight edge just because they make a little bit more sense right now when you hear what they're saying versus the other side, what they're saying. Because again, when Bill Maher and Stephen Smith and this other guy come out and say, I don't know what's wrong with the Democrats, you got a problem. You got a problem.
Both sides have issues, and you're absolutely right about that. A couple of things. So Democrats need only a small net gain to take the House. Republicans hold a 53 to 47 Senate majority, and then the Democrats are likely to need a net gain of 4 Senate seats because the Republican votes would break the 50-50 tie. Okay. So a couple of issues before I bring in my point. People who were polled, it says the economy and prices were 54% of the people said that's the number one issue, versus 28% said foreign policy was the number one issue, versus 20% said ethics and corruption, and 17% said healthcare or was the topic. The most important topic, and 15% said abortion was the most important topic. So here's the point. The point is that there is no real prevailing issue that everybody can agree on except for the economy. So what the Republicans have going against them is that if the war continues to go on and if prices continue to hurt people, emotionally, people are going to viscerally respond to that. And they're going to be more apt to go to the polls to vote that out, because people are more likely to take action on something they don't like versus to go and vote based on things they do like. So that's what the Republicans have going against them. To your point, the Democrats, what they have going against them is take me to your leader. I don't know who to take them to because there's no leader that the Democratic Party has.
Can you do that one more time? Invasion of Mars. Right. Mars invades.
Exactly. And so the Democratic Party has no leadership. And so how can the people who are informed really have faith in the Democratic Party when there's no established leader? But The problem is that we're talking about the established leadership is an issue for 2028. The issue right now is about 2026, and people don't tend to think long term. So I think the Republicans, because historically, if you look at voting shifts and voting swings, typically the ruling party in office, if things aren't going well, get voted out. That's what has happened historically. So if history continues to repeat itself, the Republicans will no longer hold a majority in office. However, because of the fact that the Democratic Party has a lot of rifts within its own party with the rise of the Mamdanis of the world, and also who he's bringing around with this Democratic Socialists of America, he's starting to bring people up. There's a real rift right now between the progressive wing of the party and the more moderate wing of the party. And so I think that the overall population, I'm going to go into prediction mode right now. I think the Republicans are going to lose the Senate. I think they're going to keep the House. I think for the presidential election in 2028, I think there will be a Republican president. Because I just don't think, unless something dramatically shifts in the next 2 years, I don't see anybody rising to national prominence to capture the hearts and minds of the Democratic Party enough. I think they're going to lose.
I think Rubio's going to get it. I think Rubio's going to be president.
I believe that. I would agree with that, because
I just think people don't trust Vance.
Time. Yeah, I agree.
I just think Rubio, when you get, I'm a big Rubio fan, but I just think when you look at him, you're like, just the guy, I think he's ready for it. I think he's ready. I think he knows he's ready. I disagree with you on the Congress thing. I think the House is going to be kept and the Senate's going to be kept, and simply because of this. Okay. You're right. People are short-term thinkers, and they're only thinking right now. And I think Trump knows that. U.S. oil is down to 82, so it's down almost $8 today. So that's good news. The Dow is up. The Spider is a little down. The NASDAQ is down a little bit, but the Dow is 52,000. So,
man, gas has been going up and down, because remember last Monday I said gas is going to be up to $90 by next Monday, right? But on Thursday or Wednesday, it did get up to 90.
I know, because we were texting and I was sweating, but I looked at this morning, I'm like, Lynn, what's up, baby? In fact,
let another day happen, man. It's just another swing.
That's it. I think Trump and co is saving their hat trick and their coup de grace for maybe 90 days right before midterms or whatever. And they're going to pow, and it's going to come in, and prices are going to come down, and things are going to be kumbaya, and somehow some theater and some smoke and some
we'll see, man.
But here's the reality behind it. The economy is definitely in a better place today than it was before Trump took office. And people see that, and people are going to acknowledge that, I think.
I really don't know how you could say that. That's another 20-minute conversation.
But we could talk about that. I'm curious about it.
Let's revisit that issue next week when we come back together. Let's talk about the economy. Let's really do a bit of a deep dive and make it interesting for our audience, so we can have our banter, but then also teach them a couple of things about different concepts within the economy.
I agree.
So with that, Chris, man, it's always a pleasure to have a conversation with you. What are your last parting words before we bid farewell to our audience?
Go USA, baby.
I love it, man. Well, hey, with that, if you like our information, subscribe. We always want to hear your feedback in the comment section as well. Till then, everybody, be safe. Take care.
Conversation has given you clarity on your next steps. Please share this episode with someone who's walking the same path. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss future episodes. And remember, planning ahead isn't just prudent, it's an act of care. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Family Office.